Yes, I can. I
Yeah,
sweet.
so this is just an advert that I see on Gumtree.
Yeah.
Um, Bob, he's left his number here. He's asking for contractors, long stays, all bills
Mm,
included. But I
mm,
mean, there's no harm in you propositioning Bob and saying, look, we'd rent it off of you and we'd go and do the hard work for you and we'd go and find the contractors and people like that.
mm,
Because we're going to market more aggressively on other platforms, not just Gumtree. You could afford to give Bob maybe 2 grand or just under two
mm, mm.
guaranteed every month, and then
Yeah.
you could go and find someone who's going to come and pay 3 grand.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might be
You
open
know
to
what?
that. You know,
Yeah, of course. Of course. This is on Gumtree.
it's on Gumtree, yeah.
Uh,
Literally, we've uploaded a new module for you to just copy what we're doing on Gumtree, so you can just go and watch that and then just copy everything that we're doing.
yeah. No, I seen that. I scrolled by it whilst I was just doing like all the listening to calls. But
Yeah.
you know, that is a fair point. I was thinking, Luke, like what is obviously with the whole, getting your first deal and stuff like that,
Hmm.
with the like obviously it's like, your aversion to risk and stuff like that. But I mean in terms of like a property, what do you think is a good number? Like I'm open to it all, but like in terms of a house with a number of rooms where you obviously guaranteeing a certain amount of rent, because obviously there's a bit of an apprehension,
Yeah, yeah,
guaranteeing rent. Um, in your experience, have you come across like a sweet spot in which like people from the
yeah.
first you get, or is it just like a you
Well, it
just
depends.
you
It
just
depends, right?
uh
So if it's an HMO, then
uh
I use our 10 beds, for example, but I mean, that does have en suites in. So prices are a little bit more, but they are similar to Newcastle, it seemed, in terms of room rate. So when we
mm,
first started, it was 200 a room is what we were paying.
mm,
But obviously that was a
yeah,
fair few years ago now. So now we're paying, I think, 2,850. So that works out to be 285 per room
mm,
is
yeah,
roughly what we're paying for an ensuite room in
mm,
our area.
yeah,
See, the bills on top of that is normally 75 to £100. And then we're going to go and rent that room out for sort of 500-ish,
mm,
500 to 600. And
mm,
each room, there should be around £100 a profit, roughly.
yeah, yeah,
That's
of
where you want to
course.
be at, roughly, generally speaking. Minimum, you want to be making sort of 600 profit.
Mm,
But
yeah,
ideally, I would say you want to have a room and a half of profit um, to go forward. So if you're going to make 500 from one room,
mm,
you want to sort of be making 750 in terms of having enough meat on the bone for you to actually make it a good deal, make it be viable. We don't want to
yeah,
just relying on one room as profit. You want to be
yeah,
relying sort of having enough meat on the bone to say maybe this one that we were just looking at, the contractor
mm,
one, maybe you'd pay him
mm,
sort of 1,800 around that price
mm,
point. The bills are going to be sort of 500-ish, depending on
yeah,
how big the house is. And then that
yeah,
still leaves you with 700 profit to then go and rent it out for 3 grand.
yes, aye,
Yeah. So obviously you're going to pay the bills. That's hassle free for the landlord. So he might be open to getting 1,800 and
mm,
no hassle at all, completely hands off
yeah,
every month rather than dealing with trying to find contractors.
do it all the work himself, aye.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, no, that's a strong shout to be fair, and
yeah. That's with the HMOs, but with the smaller properties like these ones, it probably would be best to do these as serviced accommodation because
mm,
they're not as big enough to do them as HMOs and they're not
yeah,
licensed. So
mm,
you would have to do some due diligence on booking.com and have a look and see roughly what people are paying um, in Newcastle. So let's have a quick look now while we're here.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think you should probably be able to pay a similar price to what they're
mm,
charging on Gumtree because you're going to rent it out for a bit more by the night, right?
mm,
But if we try and find a like for like, so some of those 3 bed houses, for example, you would have 3 rooms for 3 adults because this will be the same sort of search that a contractor company would do if they're looking to sell
mm,
the area. So
yeah,
you want to do some analysis like for like. Um, Apartments we don't really want because they're going to be like new builds more so. But
mm,
we'll look at holiday homes and I guess we'll do entire homes because it does have apartments in it as well. But we'll just use that
yeah,
now. And we'll try and find a like for like a little 3 bed house.
yeah,
and then we'll get a feel for what people are charging, and we can go from there. These
There's
are
one.
Yeah, they've only got two reviews, but still, I mean that doesn't even look very nice. But do you know
No.
what that is Granger Park?
I've heard of that. To be fair,
Yeah.
true.
Okay.
Um, those photos look quite nice. To be fair,
Yeah, no, it does look quite nice. Yeah, it does look quite nice. That first photo, I wouldn't have led
I
with that.
wouldn't put that one. Would you?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
don't know why.
He's cool. He's decided that.
It's lovely. I don't know why he's gone with that one.
Yeah,
That's nuts.
I know. Of all the ones to choose, he's
Yeah,
decided.
yeah. But what we'll do here is we look to then book, and then we'll have a look at the calendar.
So,
Um,
what is it you're trying to suss out here, Luke? Sorry, mate.
so
So, you're trying to.
sorry, I'm going quick. I am going to upload a tutorial of this, but
All right.
I'm basically doing is trying to find out how much people are charging for a similar property to what we just looked at on Gumtree. So
Mm,
most of those ones we saw on Gumtree just now were like three bed houses, weren't they?
mm,
So if you were to proposition those landlords, you would be able to pay them, I don't know, 1,500, 1,400 a month, which is pretty much
mm.
the average what they're asking for.
Uh,
And then we're going to look and see how much we could achieve if we furnished it and rented it out on booking.com and Airbnb by the night.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So this is March. Normally bookings do come in throughout the month, but we can already see that this particular one, even though they're just getting started, they've got one, two, three days out of the month booked already. So if that was you, that's 150, that's 450 pretty much that they've already made.
Mm,
And you would need to get to maybe 15 nights is like a break even point.
yeah.
So that's kind of where you want to be at. And if it can make a little bit of money at 15 nights, like a few
Mm,
£100s, then
mm.
that's a good sign because you're going to aim for 20 nights in
Right.
total. And those last sort of 5 to 6 nights will all be profit.
Yeah. Got you.
This is an
So,
example because they're quite new. They've only got two reviews, so they're just getting started like you'll be. So you're not really seeing the true reflection on the calendar here.
yeah. So when you're looking at that calendar, them blue parts there with them the bookings that they've already got.
Yes,
What
so
was it
the
that?
the
Uh,
I'll find another one now, but basically the white like the lines where it has a little line, they're the ones that are
mm,
booked, and where it
right.
says price, that means it
Mm.
hasn't been booked yet.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
But we'll try and find a better one. God, that one's quite big. It's a 7 bed. There's not much around, so that means that a lot of these are getting booked, which is a good indication. Let's look a little bit later in the week and see maybe Friday to Saturday. Or let's look at Monday to Tuesday next week. I know I'm moving quick here, but I will have a testament.
No, no, that's fine, mate. Yeah.
We'll have a tutorial for you to actually do in your own time as well. But
No, sounds good,
just
mate.
try and find a like
I'd
for
rather I'd rather see what you're doing anyway, Luke. So
yeah, yeah, of
it's
course. Looks
mm,
like a little shed at the end of the house. 4 bed house, 8 beds. You can get away with doing this at work and just working, yeah? No, that's good. I like that.
that's not true. Well, I told you I get like
Good little gig you
what
got
is
there,
it?
mate.
It's not too bad to be fair. Like it's not too bad. But I am on my well, I get like like what is it,
Yeah,
an
yeah,
hour
yeah,
breaks and then half
yeah,
an hour
yeah.
lunch. So I've kind of I saved it for you, Luke.
Oh, I
Saved
appreciate
it for
that.
you,
I
mate.
appreciate that. I
No,
feel
I
special now.
appreciate your time. I appreciate your time, mate. Sorry to book it so late as well. It's just I feel like until I write things down, I feel like I've not done enough to bring back here, which is like, but I feel like I've
You need to do
I'd
more.
rather just. I feel like I should do more. Well, no, you know what it is. I feel like I haven't done enough to warrant asking you what I should do next. It's
No,
silly, even
yeah,
saying it.
that's it. That's in your
But
mind. That's literally in your mind.
uh,
Like I said last time
yeah,
I spoke, I'm aiming to. I want to speak to you every week, regardless of what progress you've made.
progress. Yeah, no, I
'Cause
appreciate you saying that, mate. Because
even just you having questions and like you've probably learned stuff from us just having this call now. Like you just need to
oh yeah,
touch base every week, and
without a doubt.
even just me showing you the screen that I'm doing. It's just it's all going to compound in your mind. And
Yeah,
it's not going to happen straight away, but as time
uh,
goes on, you're going to start to think, okay, I'm actually getting this now.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
honestly, you haven't got to feel like you have to have things done to book a call. Just book it in anyway, and we'll do some work.
I appreciate you saying that, mate. Well, that's exactly what you said, isn't it? It's slowly connecting the dots.
Yeah, of course. Like this is why it's a 6 month program, bro. Like you got to give your brain a bit of time to digest it as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah,
not like
absolutely.
this is 7 years I've been doing this. So if
Exactly.
I was to start something brand new, I would be t going a bit slow as well. You know,
Mm.
it's normal. Don't look at every, you
Ah.
know, some of the other people in the group, they've been with us for a year, some of them 6 months, 2 years, some
Mm.
of them, you know.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
you got to compare apples with apples, you know, not apples with pears, you know. It's
Yeah, of
you're
course.
very, very, very early in the journey. So just
Yes.
give yourself a bit of grace, but you
Aye.
also equally do incentivize yourself and have a bit of, you know, urgency, but
Yeah.
don't be thinking you should be further ahead than you are because I'm happy with your progress right now, you know.
No, thanks, mate. No. But yeah, like I
So
say,
this
we'll
is another one. This is another
yeah,
house that we've just found that's a bit more like for like. And this
yeah,
is another good sign that we're seeing here. So you see these ones with the lines,
yeah, it's booked, yeah.
that means it's booked, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 nights are booked already in March,
Yeah.
which is a great indication because we've only just started March. So
Mm.
more bookings will come in. But what I'm basically saying is if you were to rent one of those 3 bed houses, for example,
Mm.
and give the landlord 1,500, for example, you know, if you got, let's do 110 times 15, you're already at 1650. So you've
Yeah.
covered the rent already pretty much with those 15 nights. So
Yeah. And
all you need is 5 more nights and that's all pretty much profit, you know?
you're taking away a healthy profit then.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can pay the landlord what they want. So
Yeah, exactly what they want. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
and they haven't got to worry about you being a tenant who loses their job and doesn't pay because you're a company. So you're going to
Mm.
guarantee them the rent. And if it wasn't working for whatever reason, within 2 months, you can mutually agree to leave rather
Yeah.
than the new law coming in with a normal tenant on an AST. If they lose their job,
Mm.
can't pay, the landlord's looking at like 6 months before they can get the house back, you know?
I know.
So,
Crazy that.
yeah, so this is a lot more appealing to them. It's just about how you position it to them.
Yeah.
But this is looking
Yeah.
good. I'm excited about these numbers here because this person's only got a few, you know, they don't look like they've been going too long, but the numbers look good here. So it seems like roughly 110 a night seems to be a nice biting point for like a 3 bed.
Mm. Mm.
And if you were to get that rented for 20 nights, you know, we're looking at 2,200. If you've
Mm.
got 21 nights, or maybe you could do yours at 115 times
I
21,
mean, yeah.
2004, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, the number do seem decent. I mean, 110 is quite reasonable for a night for a three bed as well. Like,
Yeah, you
I
got to
feel
think
like,
like that's 3 people. So they're going to
yeah,
pay, you know, what's that, £35 a head, something like that, £37
I know. I know.
to have
Well,
your own
it's,
house.
I know it is. To be fair, that is a really good deal, to be
If the
fair.
house is the travel lodge and that going to be down the road or Premier Inn, it's probably going to be a bit more than that, isn't it?
100, without a doubt, it's like 50, 60 quid, I think.
Yeah,
And then you get in
yeah,
like a box room, aren't you?
yeah, per
Uh,
person.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
So they're looking at sort of
So,
50, 160 versus paying 110. It's a nice little saving, you know?
oh yeah. I mean, I haven't got the like the service accommodations modules, but like, do you need additional? Like, I'm assuming you need additional kind of certifications to run those, or
No, no, you don't, bro. Just
no,
as long as you're
no.
compliant and insured, you pitch it to the landlord, and if they like the sound of it and they trust you,
Right,
then
okay.
they're gonna go for it. You know, it's quite similar to what you'd be doing with spare room
Aye,
and stuff anyway, because sometimes on spare room you would list your property by the week, and
yeah,
people would be coming similar to Booking.com. They'd be coming for 2 weeks here, 3 weeks here. So it's quite similar to if you were renting it by the room. It's just a
yeah.
bit of an aggressive strategy. Um,
Mm,
you don't necessarily have to tell the landlord that you're going to be renting it by the night because that might sometimes alarm them. It might be best to say you're doing like weekly bookings
mm.
and working with like professionals, doctors, people like that, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that I can see that would probably I'd prefer doing that if I was going to have that chat with them. But
Yeah, yeah.
I think
But
are you? Sorry, go on, mate.
Man, go on, I was waffling. What was you gonna say?
Yeah, so I was just gonna say, like, I think maybe I'll start calling agents. I'll make a note of the name and kind
Mm-hmm.
of a bit of a description as to what vibe I'm getting from
Yeah,
that particular agent.
yeah,
I mean, so I'm assuming, obviously, I'm completely new with the whole agent thing, but if
yeah,
there's a property and there's an agent,
yeah.
obviously there's going to be one agent can have multiple different properties. So I guess, yeah, that's even that was even ignore that. Yeah, so I guess I'll just make a note of the estate agents I've called and kind of just
Just
take it from there. I think.
just
Uh,
work through them. Work through them. You
uh,
know, like what's the worst they're gonna say is no. You know, it's just
yeah, exactly.
you just move on. Some of them will be open to it as well.
Right. So I'm essentially trying to close them to get a view, and at
You're
that
just trying to
point,
get a viewing. Yeah, you're trying to close them to get a viewing. You don't need to say much more than that. If they start saying who's the property for, it's for my company. You know, it's for my
yeah,
company. If they say, oh well, that's not the landlord's not interested in that, no problem.
it's fine. Yeah, move on.
Move on
Yeah,
to the next. Because some landlords will have already told the agent, I am open to a company let. So
yeah,
it just depends, you know. But don't waste any time. If they're completely blocking you, then just move on.
mm,
Move on to
yeah.
another.
No, appreciate that, mate. Yeah. All right, mate. Well, I think I'll get finish them last couple of steps from module one. I'll get the whole send out the email, and then I'll just crack on with calling some of
Yeah,
these.
and try and get the landing page sorted because that will help you when you're speaking with agents and on Gumtree trying to approach landlords as well. It just gives you a bit more, so you haven't got to.
Right. Yeah, of course.
You
Let's
can
do that first. I think. Aye.
let your website do the talking for you, you know, and then
Yeah.
put a little brochure on there maybe, and then you can come on the phone once they've already had a look at your website, and it's like, okay, they're a bit more warm now.
Yeah. No. Let's do the website first, and then
Yes.
then I'll start getting on the
Land
calls.
key task for this week, bro. Landing page,
Yeah.
copy me,
Yeah. Yeah.
and HMO register.
Yes. Yeah. I'll send them
If you
out.
can get Durham, Sunderland, and Newcastle, that'd be fantastic. But we'll see how we go. But just at least send the email and wait for them to
I
respond.
will. Yes, I will do, mate. I will do. I'll do that tonight, actually, and then I think the website should be done the next couple of days. So
Yeah,
I'll
brilliant.
I'll, I'll definitely get a feel for next time we're talking about what you
Yeah,
know, give you some feedback what the agents are
absolutely.
kind kind of telling
Absolutely,
me.
bro. Absolutely. I look forward to it.
Um, yes, no, and again, honestly, appreciate your time, Luke. Thanks for like going through. I think slowly, slowly getting there with like um bringing it
Understand.
all together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're getting there. We're getting there. Like I said, I'm happy with your progress. We'll keep marching on.
Keep marching on, mate. Aye. But honestly, nice chat. Yeah, I'll try and sort it out so you can actually look at my face. I mean, not that you, there's not, not really gonna, aye. But
That would be nice, mate. Yeah, yeah.
aye,
I'm just
aye, because
with
it's,
that screen, but uh,
I know, I do apologize, mate. I
that's all
do.
right,
I'll,
bro.
I'll
Next
sort it
time.
out for you, buddy. I'll
No
sort it out for
worries.
you next
I'll see
time.
you in the group anyway, all right?
Yes, yes. Talk soon, Luke. Take care of yourself, mate.
Bye, bye.
Bye, mate. Bye, bye.